Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War actually ended up having a pretty solid campaign, having recently double platinum the game, and with Black Ops 6 fast approaching, I enlisted Special Agent Mike Banning for one last mission in the older Call of Duty games. Can we beat Black Ops Cold War using only handguns? Only Agent Banning can find out. Side note, the next time I do one of these, should I try to get a cameo from Gerard Butler or something? The cameo paid thing? I obviously selected Recruit difficulty to make the game as easy as possible. The story begins in the not-so-red light district of Amsterdam. Also, we actually start out with a handgun, so that's a definite positive. As we get into our first bit of combat, I'll briefly explain the rules of the run to any new viewers. Agent Banning almost always prefers using handguns in the Olympus Has Fallen trilogy, so I'm restricted to only using handguns. This includes revolvers and some machine pistols. Non-lethal equipment like smoke grenades and riot shields are allowed as long as I don't accidentally get a kill with one of them. While you're forced to do a takedown or body shield animation on this particular enemy, if you select the body shield you can actually just keep walking forward until your meat shield stops meat shielding, and you will get through this section without being directly responsible for their death. Clearing the rooftops is pretty simple. We choose to capture generic Middle Eastern terrorist man, and we come across our first obstacle, a forced sniping section. Actually, it's not really a problem since you can just fire a shot into the air away from everything. Now we have a forced vehicle section. Even on Recruit, I could only survive a few seconds at a time. But for some stupid reason, blindly firing into the air with an assault rifle causes these trained soldiers or mercenaries or whatever they are to cower in fear and not fire on the vehicle. You're also forced to drive and detonate an RCXD underneath the plane, but you can't legally prove that the explosion killed anyone directly, therefore I'm counting the first mission as a success. My challenge, my rules, deal with it. I named my character after the legendary Dildo Schwaggins. I picked the health and damage boosting perks, and interestingly enough, like Black Ops 1, this game gives us a few freebies. Of the 18 missions, which actually includes 2 side missions, a whopping 6 are basically just extended cutscenes with no combat. So we can skip ahead to the third mission, Fractured Jaw, where multiple handguns are immediately available. As with most on-rails turret sections, you don't actually need to kill anyone while manning the minigun. The ground combat is simple and straightforward, but then tragedy strikes. We have to pilot a helicopter all the way back to the starting area against heavy resistance. Now, to my surprise, you actually don't have to destroy any of the buildings, boats, or enemy soldiers on the ground. The problem is this little fucker right over here. If you go too far past him, his missiles suddenly become heat-seeking, and I'm sorry Mav, but we're all out of flares. But I'm only a quitter when it comes to grad school, sports, crazy girlfriends. Okay, I guess I like to quit on a lot of things, but damn it, I'm getting pretty close, and I'm not ready to give up on this just yet. As those seem to be auto-locking missiles. But I don't think all of their missiles auto-lock. Fly past. Oh my god. No way. No freaking way. Oh my god, it's possible. It's possible. Wow. Okay, the developers definitely didn't expect this to happen. Well, what do you know? It actually is possible. I have no idea how this happened, and I know the developers weren't intending for it to. Sadly, all that effort ended up being a total waste because the base gets overrun if you don't actively help to defend it. As far as I can tell, there's no way to get through this section without defending the base, so no, I don't think you can beat Black Ops Cold War as Mike Banning, though if anyone has gotten through this defensive portion without shooting, please let me know in the comments. Even if it is possible though, I ended up failing again right here, so I'm not sure it even matters. Next up is the Squid Game mission, and we even get to start with a suppressed handgun. We play Red Dawn Simulator 2020, Side note, why has Activision not actively created a chain of Burger Town restaurants out here in the real world? It would make bank. Pistol is mightier than Juggernaut version 0.4, we fight a whole bunch of enemies, and we finish the mission with an easy on-rails gunner section. At least I thought that was what was going to happen. As it turns out, if you don't destroy this particular vehicle, it will always kill you, so another failed mission. Mission 5 is Echoes of a Cold War. It's another mission where you start out with a handgun. Unfortunately, we lose our weapons because apparently the only thing the commies can actually put together correctly is an AK-47. I took this guy as a body shield hoping he would drop a handgun. When that predictably failed, I sprinted past all of the enemies to grab a key. This allowed me to run all the way back and unlock a cabinet containing a revolver. And yet I still can't do it successfully. Oh, he's blocking the window. You... Ugh! I can do it. Come on. Open it. The Redeemer. We have a pistol. Okay, there is no way in hell that ever should have worked, but it did. From here, the rest of the mission is actually pretty straightforward. Even the escape portion isn't too problematic. You know, unless you're on veteran, that is. Next, I decided to tackle one of the game's 2 side missions, Operation Red Circus. Now, I spent a bunch of time on this mission just running all around this semi-open area, just looking for a handgun, but I legitimately could not find a single one in like 10 minutes of exploration. I also tried to force some enemies into Last Stand, but that also did not work, even though it's worked in previous Call of Duties. However, given that your main objective on this mission is to clear out all these bunkers, if you somehow managed to find a handgun somewhere in this mission, or it dropped from an enemy that your partner killed, it should theoretically be possible, so it's getting marked as a maybe. You don't even have to get a kill with the gunship at the end. Now for the other side mission, Operation Chaos. I once again couldn't find a handgun, but this time you just have to avoid enemies and progress to a motel. Then there's a breaching section. Here's how that went. Nope, not shooting. I refuse. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm totally gonna die now. Maybe not. Wow. Most incompetent soldiers ever. That attempt didn't even matter because I somehow killed everyone inside with a flashbang for some reason, then reloaded the checkpoint. The second time, I managed to grab a Magnum in front of the TV, and the rest of the mission really isn't a problem. We head back to the main story with Desperate Measures, basically an attempt to recreate the only good mission from Call of Duty World War II. This mission involves performing several non-lethal takedowns, as well as some lockpicking and sneaking around. Eventually, we take control of Bell again, and we enter a combat section where you can actually just run and hide past everything while Adler does the killing. Unfortunately, Adler did just blow in from Stupidville, and he absolutely refuses to clear this one particular room.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Though, if you had managed to find a handgun, it would be completely possible once again. The vault room gives us a hand cannon, and despite its super limited amount of ammo, we actually made it through. After more rooms of doing nothing, we donned some Juggernaut suits, and I 100% did not press a button, so this one isn't on me. Juggernaut section isn't a problem, you don't even have to kill anything, and this is another mission for the maybe column. After finishing the East Berlin briefing, we begin Brick in the Wall. Now that I think about it, we also technically did the Lubyanka briefing before Desperate Measures, so this is technically story mission number 9. We once again begin with pistols, face every gamer's worst nightmare of going out and talking to someone in person, there's some stealth sections, and we get upgraded or downgraded depending on who you ask to a tranquilizer pistol. We get knocked out and captured, and now we have combat but no handgun. I then managed to completely break the game by accidentally spawning the Terminator and the Shortest of Short buses. Or Activision probably just never thought this through. Yeah, I'm going with the second option. That's impressively bad. Well... that's interesting. I wonder how long they keep this up for. That's interesting. Okay, I'm not sure what to say about this. So, Adler and Lazar are too stupid to fire the Soviet. The Soviet just shoots all of his shotgun shells into the door. And no one seems to care. Okay, Adler's the Terminator, apparently. This is hilariously bad. This is actually kind of funny. Put this in the trivia video. Worst game ever, yeah. Oh yeah, this is going in the video for this. This is going in the handgun only video for sure. This is, good lord. This is stupid. I know I said that so many times with Modern Warfare 3, but this is just stupid. Dumbass over here is just firing shotgun shells infinitely into Adler's face. Wait, the other one's dead?
Here we are. You and I.
What? No! But this mission is miraculously doable handgun only if you're patient enough.
So.
Oh, we did it. Okay, you know what? Whatever. We quickly knock out the Cuba briefing, and we've now reached the end of the line. My starting handgun is reasonably effective at long range. The bottom floor of the mansion is fairly straightforward. I found out this mission actually has an incendiary shotgun, never knew that previously. I committed at least 1.7 war crimes here, and now we have to defend a roof. We're told to use the AC-130, though, as with many vehicle sections, you don't actually have to shoot anything. I saved the man, bros before hoes, my friends, and yes, this mission is completely doable. We cleared the brief interrogation mission, and dear God, this cutscene right here looks kinda horrific. Break On Through is one of the most unique missions in all of Call of Duty. Basically, you'll run through a bunch of so-called memories, but you can choose your own path at many points. Due to the sort of choose-your-own-adventure gameplay, I feel like this mission might be doable handgun only, depending on which paths you take. I mean, my gut kinda tells me that it isn't possible, but then again, my gut recently told me that eating 2 of the atomic chicken strips from Wingstop was a good idea, so I'm not sure it's really the best judge of character. The sauce was fine, by the way, the strips were just kinda soggy. I took the path that requires a napalm strike, which would be a failure, but there might have been a different path I could take. My second memory provided a handgun, so it was totally doable. I pretty much just ran past all the enemies in the third memory, and I found this unique line of dialogue. Actually...
Sure, Bell, you committed suicide.
I didn't know he said that! Oh, that's hilarious. In memory number 4, I just avoided entering all the doors, and I'm calling this mission a maybe due to being able to make the choices, but I could of course be very much wrong. The final cutscene mission, Identity Crisis, is obviously cleared no problem, and we're off to the final mission of the good ending. The vehicle portion is as pointless as usual, but now we have to kill a Juggernaut, and no, you can't just run past him, I did try that. Once again, if you were able to find a handgun earlier, you could get through this section no problem. Same at the end of it, if you had a handgun, you could absolutely do this part without killing anything with other weapons. Anyway, I'm marking this one as another maybe because I can. Finally, we need to play through the alternative, non-canon ending, a mission named Ashes to Ashes. All you have to do in this mission is kill your former allies. Now, yet again, we don't start with a handgun, but yet again, if the game was nice enough to actually drop you one thanks to your allies getting some kills, this would totally be doable handgun only, so it's gonna be yet another maybe. Also, Adler can apparently use the Force now. Why is there an M16 sliding across the floor? And it disappeared. Oh, there's the gun again! There's the flying gun. There's the floating gun. Watch it. It's gonna come out to here. It's gonna slow down. It's gonna stop, and then... it's gonna fly back through the wall! Oh, there's the gun again. There's the gun again. There it is. It's coming out. It's floating across the floor. Now it's gonna stop when it hits the light. It's gonna stop here and then... back through the wall! Ultimately, 11 of the game's 18 total missions were definitely doable handgun only, though half of those were basically glorified cutscenes. 5 of the 18 were maybes, with all of them if a handgun had dropped at any given point from any enemy, or if I had found one somewhere throughout the level, they would have been completely doable. As far as I can tell, only Fractured Jaw and Redlight Greenlight explicitly require the usage of something that isn't a handgun. This would mean that at a minimum, 61.11% of the game can be completed handgun only, but it might be as high as 88.89%. That is actually the second highest percentage for any Call of Duty game, behind only Modern Warfare 3 2023. Remember, with that one, there was only 1 out of the 15 missions that was not doable, and there were no questionable ones. Honestly, I'm surprised it was that successful. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell if you don't want to miss any future uploads. I don't do a lot of challenge runs anymore, and this will probably be the last time we see Agent banning, at least until Black Ops 6 releases and I choose to buy it. Thanks again, see y'all back here real soon for some more content.